one of the few systems in the entire world that has managed to keep our school going and to allow our students to continue learning with minimum disruptions during the last 2 years. So I really want to say a big thank you to all our teachers for going all out. Not many of us realize that in order to keep our school system going, the workload for our teachers have more than doubled. In order for us to switch seamlessly from physical schooling to home-based learning, our teachers need to spend a lot of time preparing more than 2 sets of lesson plans. One set of lesson plans for the school, the physical schooling, one set of lesson plans for the home-based learning, just in case we need to switch over seamlessly. And also, on top of that, to be able to take care of the higher needs students that will still need to return to the school during the home-based learning period. Now, on top of all this, the school leaders and the teachers also have to perform the role of contact tracing teams in case there are cases in the school. And we have to do this without additional manpower support. There's a small minority of parents that place a very huge demand on our teachers, and it's perhaps unfair for the teachers if they are unable to spend their time and take care of all the students because of the high demands placed on them by a very small group of parents. I think our teachers work very hard. They care a lot for our students. And I don't think our teachers are afraid to work hard. But in working hard, they must be given a sense of agency, that they are in control, that they are doing things with conviction, and that is important. And this is why I keep emphasizing that no matter how hard our teachers and school leaders work, they must feel that they are in control with a sense of agency. They can take charge of things, they can customize the curriculum according to the needs of their students, because every school have different profile of students, and no two children is similar. So we need to allow teachers and school leaders the autonomy to customize the programs according to their school needs, according to their students' needs.
First, we are raising the awareness of mental health issues, and we are broadening the outreach of training in basic mental health and psychological first aid, or PFA. Second, we are working with our NGO partners to make counseling and para-counseling more accessible. Third, mental health care has been made even more accessible. Any migrant worker identified to have need or to benefit from mental health care will be linked up with the appropriate services, including the counseling hotlines. In particular, an escalation pathway with the Institute of Mental Health has been developed to ensure timely care for more severe cases when necessary. Between January and September 2021, 98 work permit holders were admitted to IMH, Institute of Mental Health. Now, this was lower as compared to the same period in 2020, but was higher as compared to 2019 during the pre-COVID times or era.
Ms. Sylvia Lim asked if we plan to review our protocols for dealing with young suspects and suspects with special needs. There are regular reviews to ensure that they are up to date. Ms. Denise Pua in 2016 and Ms. Lim in 2017 had asked if all persons under 18 can be supported with an appropriate adult during interviews. Given that the AAYS scheme applies to all persons under 16, the point really is whether it can be extended to persons who are 16 and 17. We have told both of them that this would be reviewed. There were some difficulties in expanding the scheme to suspects in this age group, and so we decided to operationalize the current process, which was announced in 2017 for a period first, while we consider if so, how we can deal with the issues. We will announce our decision in the next few months as to whether we can extend the AAYS scheme to persons who are 16 and 17 years old. Mr. Zulkarnain Abdul Rahim asked about CMB's protocols when conducting drug-related investigations involving young persons with a history of medical or mental health conditions. If it is made known to the officers that the subject has medical or mental health conditions and would require special attention, prior to bringing the person in to assist in the investigation, CMB officers will contact the parents or school first, if operationally feasible. Under these circumstances, they will activate an appropriate adult to be present during the interview.
The Ministry of Manpower recognizes there are still many families waiting for approval of their migrant domestic workers to enter Singapore. To manage COVID-19 importation risks, entry approvals for MDWs were tightened since May 2021, resulting in the number of MDWs entering Singapore being reduced from an average of 3,400 per month from January to April this year to 900 per month from May to October. As the regional COVID-19 situation improves, MOM is able to give more entry approvals. From 15 October 2021 onwards, we have opened up new applications for the entry of fully vaccinated MDWs for entry from 1st November and after. More MDWs will be able to enter Singapore in the coming months if the COVID-19 situation continues to stabilize locally and regionally. Due to the high demand for entry, we will continue to prioritize families with caregiving needs for the entry approvals. We will also facilitate the entry of MDWs of households with healthcare workers so that the healthcare workers can better focus on their frontline work. For those employers who are not successful, they may wish to access the application portal by ICA in subsequent weeks, as entry slots are periodically made available. With more entry approvals in the coming months, the demand for transfer MDWs is expected to ease.
We are proposing to update the relevant acts in 3 key areas. First, to empower EMA to acquire, to build, own, and/or operate power infrastructure to safeguard our energy security and our reliability. Second, to enhance the protection of critical electricity and gas infrastructure. And third, to empower EMA to impose energy and carbon efficiency on parties licensed under the Electricity Act. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me now elaborate on the key amendments in this bill. That of safeguarding energy security and reliability. So first, I'll speak on our amendments to ensure that we have a safe, a secure, and reliable supply of electricity, which is critical to Singapore's survival. Today, we rely on the private sector to provide sufficient generation capacity and the critical infrastructure needed for energy security and system stability. This ensures market discipline and cost effectiveness. However, global energy transition introduces various risks and uncertainties in energy markets. For example, it is unclear when new energy solutions such as hydrogen and carbon capture, utilization and storage may become cost viable for large-scale deployment. It is also unclear whether how natural gas may feature in the future global energy mix. These uncertainties may inhibit private investments. For example, generation companies may not be willing to invest in new generation capacity to replace older, retiring generation units. They may also not be willing to invest in new technologies that incorporate cleaner fuel. Banks may be increasingly reluctant to finance generation projects which are needed but are not based on renewable energy. So to safeguard energy reliability and security during the energy transition, we must give EMA the option to step in and provide the critical infrastructure and services needed to ensure the proper functioning of the energy sector.